mood disorders, not just postpartum, because women have problems while they're pregnant, they have problems right after, and that's the most common. But then they also have problems when they stop breastfeeding, when they start their menses again. So there's different times when they can have these issues. So I'm going to talk about a few. The first one is the pregnancy. And I want to tell you a story about a friend of mine. And she was kidnapped by her biological father when she was a young child. And he and his new wife, who was pregnant, kidnapped her from her mother for quite a while. And so she experienced this woman's pregnancy. And obviously, it was a traumatic event for her. So when she got pregnant, it somewhat became a traumatic event for her that she had to relive watching this woman's abdomen grow. As hers grew, it triggered all these memories. And so these are the kind of things that people don't tell you until they know you, until they trust you, until you've shown them that you're not going to judge them, that you're going to listen, and that you're going to affirm that their experience is their experience, and it's real for them. That experience is their experience, and we want to honor that and help them if they want to change it. We're the ones that can do that. We're the experts. So, you know, a lot of women, they don't feel great when they're pregnant. At least I do not. Fat and big and heavy and couldn't move around. And, you know, they're having trouble sleeping, so they're exhausted. They have reflux. You know, they get anxiety about eating because they get morning sickness. There's so many different things. Some women, it's a little overwhelming for them to be pregnant. Other women are really, really happy with their pregnancy. That's awesome. But, you know, if they have the problems, then let's calm and support them. Let's help them. But obviously, you know, naturopathy always say remove the cause and the body will heal. So her cause is not going to be removed for 9 months. So she's going to be going through these things, and we want to support her. We want to help her to know that it's not abnormal or weird, that she doesn't feel ecstatically happy every minute of the day because she's going to have a baby. And so baby blues is common. This is when they, you know, right after they give birth and the progesterone has dropped dramatically. It's like 10,000 units a day, and then all of a sudden it's 0 when the placenta delivers, and bam, if she's got hormonal, you know, sensitivity, she's gonna feel it happen. And but also just the emotional release from giving birth. You know, it's like this amazing, exciting thing that's been building up for 9 months, and suddenly it's over, and just like a big letdown. Or just realizing that your life's never going to be the same because now you have this little person to take care of for quite a long time. But generally, baby blues, you know, it'll resolve in a few days and even a few weeks, and maybe they don't really need a lot of attention, but I think it's good. Why not just use it? We've got the medicine. We can help them make it easy, do the homeopathy, do the, you know, progesterone or what have you. But if it becomes chronic, then you're talking about postpartum depression. And like I mentioned, 900,000 women a year in the U.S. are estimated to suffer from this. This is a lot of people. And you know, there's that saying, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. And I think the greatest gift we could give any child would be a happy mother. So when they bring in the baby, so this is the way it works for me, they bring in the baby for me to see. But guess who I see? I see the mother, because she's nursing the baby, and she's tired, and she doesn't eat right, and she's got all these other things going on. Baby's fine, you know, and then I need to help the mother. And so these are some of the symptoms of postpartum depression. And, you know, it's not enough for us just to ask them, are you feeling depressed? Because I'm pretty sure, at least when they asked me, I said, no. Because I'm not going to say, yes, that's not the answer they want. They want no, and I've learned to give you the right answer. Right answer to are you depressed is no. But by women now revealing their personal stories, like Chrissy Teigen, and again, there was an article recently, or no, it was in the social media, oh, postpartum is not a real thing. But you know, when these celebrities reveal it, they come out and they are put up for ridicule, you know. But it helps us because then it helps our patients not feel so much stigma and shame around it, and perhaps be more open to tell us how they actually feel. If we ask them, how do you feel, not just, are you depressed? So I'm going to tell you a story about Yvonne. It's in my book. And she was in her mid-20s, super healthy. A lot of young people in Hawaii, they're kind of like back to nature, you know, hippie kind of people. And She was like that, lived on a farm, you know, they ate all organic food, they grew it, or they got it from their friends, raw, vegan, blah, 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 Waldorf school, you know, that's the scene, right? Just super cool. Her husband calls me up, he's like, hey, she's having a really hard time postpartum. I'm like, what happened? Well, you know, of course they planned this beautiful, perfect home birth with the candles and the music and this and that and the midwife, and you guys know where the story's going, right? Emergency C-section, rushed to the hospital, totally shamed and humiliated by the doctors. How could you be so stupid? Why did you do this? In Hawaii, midwifery is not the same as it is here, where you have, you know, hospital privileges and such. It's totally like, they're like, no, wrong, you know. So she went through all of that trauma, not only her own physical trauma, but then the emotional abuse that she endured. And she was not in a good place. So she came in to see me, and I explained to her about targeted amino acid therapies and, you know, progesterone and things like that. And she said, well, I really think that, you know, thanks for the information, kind of like I got it. You know, I think my good eating habits, my lifestyle's all gonna make it come together. I said, okay, well, just let me know if you need me. Well, her husband calls me, of course, on the weekend, and he's like, can you come over because she locked herself in the house with the baby, and I don't know what's going on, and I'm really scared that somebody's gonna get harmed. She hasn't been eating, she hasn't been sleeping, you know, she couldn't nurse, and it was really bad. So I'm calling her while I'm driving up there, and she's not answering the phone. Somehow, thank God, I was able to get her to open the door, and she was just a mess, you know. But it took that for her to then want to work with me, and through all the treatments, we got her really healthy and happy. And when she got pregnant again, the second time, she, instead of choosing to not have the backup plan, she had the backup plan. So then she could have the VBAC. And there's a lot of really interesting stuff too about reliving trauma, and she got to relive it, but having the VBAC, you know, vaginal birth after cesarean, having the VBAC, she was able to then heal the trauma of that cesarean section. And she actually went on to become, it's called a hypnobirthing therapist. And I thought that was so cool that then she took her experience and she used it to help other women. Postpartum psychosis is very rare. It only occurs 2% of the time. But we should be aware of that if the woman is hearing voices or having hallucinations. And one of the saddest ones is Andrea Yates, who was about 15 years ago, and she killed her 5 children. She drowned them all in the bathtub. And she was hearing voices, and God told her that it was terrible for them to be here, and she was a terrible mother and all of that, and she needed to kill them. That would be the best thing for her to do so they would go to heaven. And so we need to be aware of this because some